It's time for Catholics to face the truth about the papal confusion. I usually don't post opinion pieces, but this one has some interesting thoughts I want to pass on to you. Here are some excerpts. Although the number of Catholics vocal about their concerns with the pontificate of Pope Francis has grown in recent months, a strange phenomenon nevertheless continues to assert itself, a kind of cognitive dissonance in which the faithful seek to find an explanation, no matter how far-fetched, to reassure themselves that what is happening can't really be as troubling as it seems. For regular readers here, it may seem hard to believe this kind of thing is still happening. But for many faithful, Mass-going Catholics with a typically healthy instinct to defend the papacy, coming to grips with the fact that the source of confusion around this papacy is the Pope himself can be a difficult pill to swallow. When these controversial interviews come out, they do so each and every time under the cover of unreliable journalistic practices. Scalfari doesn't record his conversation or take notes, but reconstructs them from memory. And yet they are never walked back with a direct refutation or correction from the Holy See press office or the Pope himself. What we are left with then is both the impression that the Pope has said something deeply controversial and erroneous, but also the impression that the Vatican said he didn't. The fact that these are both impressions are not facts in part of the game, is part of the game. A game that leaves the global media free to report what the Pope is alleged to be saying as gospel, and this leaves the faithful very uncertain about what to believe. The problem with the Pope as victim of shoddy journalism narrative is that his chats with Scalfari are prolific and they continue no matter what the fallout. By my count, the Pope has had conversations, or at least parts of them, published on at least 8 different occasions, and in almost every case, something controversial has come out of it. Here's my list of those occasions. Feel free to double-check my work. So the list of the 8 links are in the article, so go to the link at the end of the video or in the description box. If the Pope has a problem with how Scalfari represents himself, this pattern should have stopped repeating a long time ago. And it would be good to remember that we've been told he is aware of what is transpiring, as Father Federico Lombardi, the previous spokesman for the Holy See, told us back when that first controversial Scalfari interview dropped in 2013. Pressed by reporters on the reliability of the direct quotations, Lombardi said during an October 2nd briefing that the text accurately captured the sense of what the Pope had said, and that if Francis felt his thoughts had been gravely misrepresented, he would have said so. On the question of hell, Pope Francis and Scalfari have discussed it on at least 3 previous occasions dating back to 2015. And each time the Pope's thoughts on the matter have been represented along these same lines. The souls of the just will go to contemplation of God, but the souls of those we think of as damned will simply be annihilated. This is, for most people, the real head-scratcher. But this is because, for most people, obvious self-contradiction is an absurdity. It is here that I would direct the reader's attention to the section in Catholic historian Henry Syre's new book, The Dictator Pope, that discusses Peronism as the formative influence for a young Jorge Bagliario. Juan Perón, Sire relates, was a master of saying one thing to one audience and something completely contrary to another, always telling everyone what they wanted to hear, with no concern whatsoever for the integrity of his own position, only the consolidation of his influence. Well, there's more to the article, and I left out big parts of it. I just wanted to give you a sense to so that you could decide whether or not you wanted to read the rest of it or not. And the links are here and in the description box.